of how I became a millionaire.
What is going on, everyone? It's Johnny Dunn, and we are back with another one. Hope everyone is doing well today. We got one drop today, nothing too crazy. Just one drop, not multiple drops today, but we have a special drop today. We have Amazing Spider-Man issue number 300. This is the first full appearance of Venom. So shout out to everyone joining the live stream. A little bit late today. I was running around right after a shower, so might be sweating a little bit. We got Shago in the building. How we doing? Willow Kid, how we doing, fam? Got a couple great videos to go over today as well. Shout out to It's Wonderful. Do we have some new music coming from Pineapple Gang? We shall find out in a little bit, but right now I just want to dive into today's drop. I think today's going to be a pretty solid one, guys. We have a super limited edition comic book drop. Y20, it's not a grail. Shout out to Mark Holm. It is a $20 drop, so that is something to definitely go over today. Usually, we all know that comic books are typically about $7. Sweating like crazy right now. But $7 is usually that list price, but today we have a $20 list price. We saw a couple different prices from AF-15, the Star Wars drop. Today, another one, 10,000 total editions for a $20 list price. So let me know in the chat. Are you guys going for this one? Are you guys skipping it? After I go over all these covers, I'll let you guys know my opinion. Obviously, we're going over comics and crypto, VeVe and 3's video today as well. First, let's just dive right into the covers. I mean, we got the common original cover of this one. I think this is one of those covers that a lot of people, again, sort of like that AF-15 drop, a lot of people are saying, get the common, get the original cover. And I think, again, we're seeing that kind of pan out in this one as well, too. A lot of people love the original cover. I believe this is Todd McFarlane as well, too, so shout out to Todd. We got the uncommon. I think the uncommon even looks good, too. We got Spidey black suit, popping out on him. So I like that one. I love the fact that in the rare, definitely pops. We saw, a couple good, I would say, rares lately. They tend to pop, right? Got the ultra rare colorway. I love this one as well, too. I think this one doesn't pop as much, but I think the colorway combination blends in pretty nicely. Looks smooth, looks clean. I kind of like all the covers so far. Maybe leaning the rare the most. I think I'm going to go for original one, honestly. I'm going to go for the drop today, guys. I am going to go for the drop because I figure even if I go for the drop and I end up getting a random mint, random rarity, I'm okay with just holding one of these. Now, if I get lucky, if I get blessed with a 3-digit mint, that's amazing. If I get blessed with a great rarity, that's great too. Now, my plan was to, depending on what I get on the drop, come back in and get a 3-digit mint original cover right away. I'm big on the 3-digit original covers. Now, with this one, there's 6,000 commons. I do believe it's a little bit more significant if you're able to get a 3-digit mint on one of those, I would say, classic covers, big-time comics that have the 30,000 plus edition run. I think being a sub 1,000 mint on those are even more extreme. But just to even get one of these, I think will be a pretty big deal. 10,000 total, so same number, I believe, as Kang and as AF-15, right? Same number. Obviously, I think those are bigger comics, but again, this is a pretty big deal. Shout out to Sleeping Comics. I know he's big on this one. I know Sean for Comics and Crypto, he's big too on this one. I can't wait to dive into their Huddle or Sell video today. Shout out to everyone who did give that one a watch already. Let me know also in the chat, which one are you guys liking the most? Because I've heard a lot of people say they don't really like the secret rare cover on this one. I still think it's going to do amazing. Only 250 editions for the secret rare. So, again, I've been always a believer that the higher rarities, the secret rare, the ultra rares, the rare, they're always going to do great just because it's a scarce number of them. So that's built-in inherent value. Even if the cover isn't aesthetically pleasing or the best cover art in some cases, but I think it's always got inherent value based on scarcity. The one thing that I think people are starting to recognize is actually how scarce the sub 1,000 mints are of the original covers. That's just kind of my personal taste. That's just what I like. But again, I think all rarities will do great on this one. I think the ultra rare looks amazing. I think the rare looks amazing. I do see this one coming out above retail. 10,000 total editions. it's only $20. I mean, I really don't see people getting this common and flipping it for 10. But we are in a down market, bear market, so maybe so. I highly doubt it though. I do think if you get anything on this drop, it'll probably come away profitable, in my opinion. Not financial advice. My opinions only. My opinions and entertainment. I mean, who knows, right? I do think I want to hear your guys' opinion in the chat when I get to them, but I do think this is gonna be a solid drop. Big time comic. Venom is a big time, I guess, villain. You would say, right? They are VeVe exclusives. Yeah, so 6,000 for the common, 2,200 basically for the uncommon, 1,000 for the rare, 500 for the ultra rare, 250 for the secret rare. I think this one's going to do great. I think we will have to bust out Rhythm Gate, Johnny Gate, Timing Gate, whatever, whatever you want to call it. But I think it will be important to try to time this one perfectly, because if you wait a couple seconds after the drop, I think it's going to sell out on your ASAP instantly. So definitely keep that in the back of your mind when going for this drop. And I actually don't have my VeVe light on. I may have to turn that on for the drop. Give me some extra extra network connection. I think some people actually probably believe that by now, but we'll find out. Yeah, that's a banger right there, Willow. Also, you got a banger too. I should be playing that one. Yeah, facts. Disney Anthem, man. I was just telling Pineapple Gang. I said, dude, gotta make a Marvel Comics banger so that way when Disney buys your song one day, you got Marvel gonna buy one for the comics to put out in the metaverse. So I love his Disney Anthem. That is definitely, it gives you one of those feelings. Yeah, goosebumps 100% at the beginning. Let's go. Willow stepping in the batter's box today. I think we got people trying to FUD this drop already. Shout out to Flint Marco. Let's go, Punch. How we doing today? I actually woke up crazy. I'm feeling, pretty much all better. I'm not sick anymore. But I feel like I'm just running to one thing into another. Yesterday I woke up with a stiff neck, one of the worst I've ever had. I could barely even move like side to side. Today it's loosened up to where I feel a little bit better, but crazy. I feel like I'm running into one thing and then the other. But shout out to Punch for tuning in today. What do I think of the Dr. Octopus drops more? Let's dive into that. Huh? I know there's a lot of criticism going on about what Dr. Oct looks like. Yeah, I don't think we have the Medium article just yet, so I think VeVe's tweeted out. What is this? This is an ad. Also, we got some 101s. Has anyone placed a bid on these? Let me know if anyone's placed a bid. I have not placed a bid. Don't think I'll be winning one of these. Kind of whale games, right? So here we go. 17 hours ago, they posted it. This is going to be the next drop on Wednesday. So a lot of people are saying, why did we get this character? It doesn't look good, etc. I think that one of the reasons why they did this is because, again, from a business standpoint, it's actually genius. If this is the reasoning why, I'm going to give you guys a couple different reasons here. I think a lot of people were looking for like the new version of Doc Ock, right? Kind of like in that Spider-Man No Way Home. And this is the FA of Doc Ock, right? This is the FA in the premium digital format as a collectible. So no matter what, it's going to have that inherent value, even if it's not the best looking, if it's a different colorway, whatever the case is. And we'll touch on the colorways in just a second. It's the first appearance. So the attached value for the future Doc Ocks that drop, if they make this one maybe like the old school version, maybe the one that's not the most popular, the one that does drop next could be that newer version of it. Won't be the FA, but if it's the more popular one, could have value as well too. I'm interested to see what the price is going to be on this one. It doesn't look like it's animated. A lot of people want this to be animated. I do wish this is animated. I hope it is. It'd be a great opportunity for them to make this one an animated collectible. Now, the reason why I was thinking that we got this version and not maybe like the Spider-Man No Way Home version is because this is going to drop the same day they're doing the first ever metallic red to celebrate Marvel's 83rd birthday. And this outfit looks to me like a very easy outfit to make a different colorway. So I don't know the exact strategic rollout that they're going to do for this new colorway, and I'll touch on the video in just a second as well too. But I feel like this is a little bit easier to make an all metallic red version of it. Maybe there's only 100 of those in the blind box type thing. I have no idea what they're going to do, but it's just kind of my first thoughts on it. Like if they rolled this one out and people aren't as excited, they're probably going to be more excited for the newer Doc Ock from Spider-Man No Way Home. So if that does eventually roll out, that'll have the popularity of it that everybody wants, but it won't be FA. So I think both would be valuable in that case. Depending on the price point, if it's a cheap price point, like $30-$40, I'll go for it. If it comes out to be like $80 or something like that, I may pass on it. And it all depends too on the edition sizes that they roll out, if it's animated, if it's not. I do like Doc Ock. I have the ultra rare comic and a 3-digit original cover. That's kind of my first take on it. Let me know what you guys think. I know a lot of people weren't, the best or most excited about this one. They did say 3 premium digital collectibles. So I'm assuming there's going to be 2 static and 1 animated. That's my guess. Don't hold me to it because we don't know for sure just yet, but that is my guess. If anyone's had a stiff neck lately, let me know. It's the most frustrating thing in the world. Like I said, luckily it's not as bad right now, but it's just like a constant throbbing pain. So at least I don't feel sick anymore, so that's good. I'm still coughing up disgusting stuff, but I don't have a sore throat, so that's all good. Good to know. Good to see. We're going to dive into Comics and Crypto Huddle or Sell video in just a second. I did get back word too from the Comic-Con, the New York Comic-Con. I did not get accepted for a backstage press badge type thing, so I am going to have to buy the tickets. I think I'm going to buy tickets today. Hopefully they don't sell out or didn't sell out just yet. But why is it not animated though? We don't really know, Punch. That's the thing, right? We don't really know if it's animated, if it's not animated. Not sure. I have a feeling that it could possibly be animated. It's kind of like under promise, over deliver. Let's just roll out a picture of the first static collectible, and then maybe one is animated. I'll tell you what, guys, if it is animated and it's a pretty decently low edition count for that secret rare, ultra rare, I do think it's going to do pretty well. I agree. I believe the ultra rare comic. Are you talking about Doc Ock Punch or the comic dropping today? Venom. I think you're talking about the ultra rare from today, right? Venom. Yeah, ultra rare only has 500. So again, it's that same kind of edition count as the AF15 that just dropped. I don't believe it's going to be obviously as valuable as the AF15, but same edition count. So ultra rare's got 500. Secret rare's got 250. If anyone gets them on the drop, I think they're going to do extremely well. Hoping for a comment today, AK. Shout out to AK. Why are you hoping for a comment? Is that just because you like the original covers? Just trying to get that insight on what people are liking. I saw a lot of people hoping for the comment, that original cover today, and it just makes a lot of sense in my mind. People are starting to tend to realize or tend to really gravitate towards that original cover of these big time comics. For me, I really saw a huge push on people saying, buy the comic, buy the comic. Jeez, excuse me. Once the AF15 dropped. Once the AF15 dropped, that's when I think I started to see a lot of people really, like I said, gravitate towards those commons. And I think there's just so much room to grow in them. So that's just kind of you guys know already that my opinions on them. But again, I've always said, I don't think a comic collector is just going to stop at the original cover, whether that's a low mint, special mint. I truly believe if you're a comic collector, a hardcore fan of whatever comic drops, you're going to want that original cover, but you're also going to probably want, the most scarce variant cover, whichever one you can afford. So that's why I've tried to pair my 3-digit original covers with like an ultra rare of that set. So shout out to J Kill, Pioneers in the building. Also, did everybody see what Meta just put out on like their announcements? Thought it was amazing to see this. Let me see. I think it's on Twitter too. I think I gave it a little repost. Yeah, let me bring this up. Shout out to MC, my collectibles. This is something I had to post. I Instagram storied this 27 weeks ago. Instagram and Twitter will have a section for NFTs, digital collectibles viewable on people's profile one day. You just see where this is all going. So I had to post that one recently because of what Meta just shared. You can now post digital collectibles on Facebook and Instagram. Connect your digital wallet to either app and start sharing your NFTs today. Huge. Now, shout out to Wendy. You know, Wendy posted a lot of her NFTs on Instagram, and I was looking at them. I was like, wow, this is the future. I think she had one from Virtua too, and I said like owned by Wendy. Can you guys just imagine? This is coming. VeVe will have this eventually. They've talked about it AMAs before, how they do game plan to, you know, make this happen with the VeVe NFTs, with the digital collectibles on VeVe. It's just I think they have to wait until everything's visible on IMX and wait until that whole situation's like finished. I don't know exactly the whole delay, et cetera, what's happening. Probably just because VeVe has an incredible amount of NFTs that have to get minted. I have no idea, but you know, once that does happen and we are able to, I guess, connect or just post and share the ownership that we own these digital collectibles, I think it is going to be game changing. Because think about it, right? How many people in the world are going to want to show off that they own the first appearance of Batman, the first appearance of Spiderman, Superman, Disney, Marvel stuff? These comic books are going to go insane because right now, so many people will just still just screenshot a picture and say, now I own it. And it's like, oh my gosh, we still are in that Wild Wild West phase. It's transitioning out, but we're still kind of there. Now, I saw shout out to Crypto Chris. He replied to with a tweet and said how VeVe was definitely ahead of the curve of calling these digital collectibles, and while everyone was still using NFTs, hit the nail on the head with that one. So shout out to Crypto Chris. He did also state that he wishes that VeVe did roll this out with their launch, and that would be awesome to see. I think everybody in the VeVe community would be so excited to see that. My thinking on that is it actually may be beneficial in the long run to not have it roll out with their launch. And my only thinking on that is because of this. They're going to roll out whatever digital collectibles people have, right? Either NFTs on OpenSea or Virtua, whatever the case is, right? Probably back cows eventually too. Shout out to all holders of them. But I think we're going to still have a lot of people push back against it, right? There's still going to be a lot of backlash against it at first because anything new there always is. So I think it's going to be like a perfect storm of, I don't know if it's going to take months, maybe a year, whatever the case is, but once people on Facebook, Instagram who are against NFTs start really seeing this every day more and more often, they're going to start to become more accepted of it. It's the whole part of that transitioning phase. So I think of it like, okay, well, let's let them roll this out with a digital collectible, see how people react negatively, positively, and let's get people used to it. And then whenever it's finished with the VeVe, IMX, interoperability, and then we're able to connect our wallets or however it's going to happen, right? Once we're able to show off our VeVe NFTs, people will hopefully be more accustomed to seeing the digital collectibles, be more used to it. And then when they see first appearance of Batman, first appearance of Spider-Man, I think it could end up being like a perfect storm type thing. So who knows for sure? But you know, shout out to Crypto Chris. I think he replied to my tweet and said something like this: Spider-Man SR. Let's go. People, wow, he's got 3 of them. Shout out to Dance Puda Panda. I think people are really starting to get excited for this because this is a huge milestone right here. Let's take a look with Crypto Christian. People are still down. VeVe's gonna have that happen. Chris said, I think VeVe was ahead of realizing digital collectibles would be more adopted than NFTs. And he hit the nail on the head with that, 100%. But I wish VeVe could participate in this launch. It connects to digital wallets, which currently we can't hold our NFTs in. Completely accurate, I think one day we will get that happening. It's something that the team has said that they are going to, make happen. It's just so many other priorities probably came first. So, I'm excited. I think that's going to be huge. And I just saw where that was heading. So that's why I felt like this is this is legendary right here. Someone replied with VeVe stories sound like a great idea. 100%. I think someone, was it Secret Rare? The person I just did the interview with, I think he actually made like a little revamp of the web app, just kind of like seeing what he could do with it. And I think VeVe replied and said something like reading our minds. They do want to definitely make iterations to that social feed. AFMESQ said VeVe's social feed has so much potential. Imagine a world where you can visit other collector showrooms, take photos of their limited one-of-ones and scarce items for your story. Absolutely. And see, that's why I've always believed that VeVe is going to be almost, if not just as big, if not bigger than Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. And it sounds moon boyish to say that. I've said this back in March, and I'm going to say it today. I do believe that one day. And one of the reasons is because just from my own personal experience, when I first found VeVe, before there was even spam comments, I know that doesn't even sound like possible, but there's a point in time where you could leave a comment and a week later go back and see that comment without scrolling through follow for follow and all the scam or spam posting. I was using VeVe social media way more than Instagram, Twitter, all these different platforms. And I was like, oh my gosh, what is happening right now? I was self-aware. I was like, I am more into the VeVe social feed, checking it more often than I am with Instagram. I was like, this is going to be gigantic. Obviously, it's like Facebook back in 2007. There was nothing to do. There was just a blank white screen and you could post. That was it. So iterations are going to happen to the social media part of this, which think of how big VeVe already is. And there's no even search bar. All this stuff is going to get worked on, guys. And so I can't imagine what this is going to look like. Not even 6 months from now, but 2 years from now, 5 years from now. You're going to be able to tell your kids that you were here for season 1, 2, 3, 4. This is going to be history. This is unbelievable. So shout out to everyone joining the live stream. We're going to get to some more comments. We're going to tune into Comics and Cryptos video probably first. Just because it's a little bit shorter than VeVe and 3s, and I like saving VeVe and 3s video right before the drop. I like their content, like their knowledge. Make sure you guys subscribe. Obviously, you guys are subscribed by now to Comics and Crypto. Are they at 10K? Almost at 10K. And of course, make sure you guys subscribe to VeVe and 3. They're about to pass me soon. Let's get them to 5K subs. Run it up for them. This is a 9-minute long video today, so I got to make sure I save some time. We got 30-minute warning countdown in 6 minutes. So let me get some more comments real quick. I passed Dr. Strange. How we doing? How we doing, fam? Rion, how we doing, fam? Also, I think Superstar Money put out a price prediction as well for this comic drop. I was gonna get to their video, but I didn't have time this morning. Dr. Strange, all things Strange, VeVe probably had a nice price prediction as well. Oh, amazing insight, Mark. That completely makes sense. They can't use the one from the movies because Marvel doesn't own the movie rights to Spider-Man characters, just comic characters. I don't know how true that is, but if you're right about that, that's amazing insight right there, and it makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I agree, Dr. Strange. I think they knowing VeVe, I feel like they probably will make this one animated. I think what's happening is they're under-promising and over-delivering. So I'm kind of hurting that right now by hyping it up, saying that I think it is going to be animated. But again, maybe it's not animated, right? Maybe it's just 3 collectibles, 3 different rarities with edition counts. But real talk, great question. I think a lot of it has to do with kind of like a long-term business model, in my opinion, real talk. The way I see it is probably like, from a business point of view, if they drop the craziest animated awesome looking collectible first as the FA, and then dropped the not so popular one later, all the attention, all the money would probably drive towards that first one, and then leaving that second one not that valuable. So from a business point of view, it makes sense to me that they would drop maybe one static early that's an FA, because having a first appearance of a big time character probably will have inherent value, and then dropping that maybe animated colorway that's more popular later. I don't really know for sure. It's definitely an interesting debate. Plus, it's always been in the roadmap too that the first kind of collectibles are going to be static, then they're going to move into dynamic collectibles. Shout out to Journey from the Palace. How we doing? The Palace is in the building. We're becoming venomous today. Shout out to Kobe Collects, another great YouTuber. What do I think resale will be? Great question here. I don't know. I've heard some predictions here. I do think the common's going to come out definitely above retail. If it comes up below retail, I would be actually shocked and surprised. I think people are going to bring out their broomsticks and just start sweeping everything up if it comes out under retail. I see this one being probably about like anywhere from like, I could be completely wrong on these guys too. I don't really have a strong prediction on these. Sometimes my predictions I feel like I'm pretty confident in. Sometimes I have no idea. So I would say this is not a confident prediction. I would say maybe 60 to 100. I don't know. That's kind of where I'm thinking first thoughts. Maybe in a down market though, maybe it's only like 40 to 80 the common, Good luck this morning. I guess 10K mints, 20 gems now. It could definitely kind of set the new standard. Shout out to VeVe in 3. AF15 must have set a precedent. Yeah, it definitely could be. Shout out to Heather and Corey from VeVe in 3. I do think so, Danny A. I think this comic is a pretty solid comic book. Let's go. We got James feeling in the building. How we doing, fam? Still holding on to the gems? I think that's a smart move, brother. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, right? People all around are calling for a huge, push down even more with the economy. I feel like for me, I don't like trying to time things perfectly. I'd rather just kind of dollar cost my average way into the big time collectibles that I see big time value in long term. That's just, everyone kind of has their own strategy, right? We've seen people sell their whole collection, try to time it perfectly, get back in at the right exact time. We've seen people just hold on to things. We've seen people do a little bit of both. I feel like everyone's situation is different, so you got to really be self-aware of what you're willing to do, willing to risk. Everyone's situation is different. So what it do, dudes? This is my Grail comic. I've been collecting physical comics with Venom on, and finally bought this one over the weekend. Hey, shout out to you. And then VeVe announced it. Wow, Super Simono. It was meant to be. Definitely meant to be. Now, question for you, Super Simono. Really curious in this. Since you have that physical comic book now, do you want to try to get that secret rare, the ultra rare, or do you want to try to get like a low mint, special mint, original cover to pair it with that? Or maybe both. Maybe you want to try to get all rarities. If this is your Grail comic, my guess would be you want all the rarities, if not at least like an original cover and like a secret rare, ultra rare, or like another variant. That's kind of how I've been playing it. I want that original cover, and then I want a variant as well. Hey, Reslone, how we doing, fam? Resl here. I can't believe our video is 9 minutes. I sort of went through socials to find what people were curious about, try to address it all, plus the normal details we cover. I like the videos, VeVe and 3, Heather and Corey. I know your whole concept is kind of like 3 minutes or less, but I like the fact you kind of stretch it out to like 5 to 10 minutes because you pack a lot of information. It's definitely an info dump, and it's, I would say it's digestible. It's nothing too long. You're concise with it, so I like it. Super Simona says, I want to get a common for sure, but I would like to get an SR2. Let's go. And I completely understand that. I feel like that's kind of the mindset I felt like comic collectors would gravitate towards. So I'm glad you said that. Because it kind of just backs up my theory and kind of what I like as well too. I feel like those original covers are going to be huge, and how you separate yourself from a 6,000 original covers, 30,000 original covers, you get that special mint or a low mint or maybe the very very last mint type thing. But again, like I said, I don't think a person's just going to stop there. I think they're going to go after whichever variant they can afford, maybe the whole set of covers or whatever the case is. So I'm definitely glad to hear your insight with that one. My guess is the ETH merge effect IMX for VeVe. Hey, let's go Tom. 1972. I don't really care what resale is, as I am not selling. See, I think a lot of people are going to be in the same boat, especially with some of these big time comics. You're going to find a lot of fans who literally just want to collect and hold these. I mean, I'm not even the biggest comic fan, and I'm not selling some of my comics. So I can only imagine what some of these comic collectors are really, about, because there's obviously going to be flippers, and there's nothing wrong with flipping either. But I think as time goes on and we see a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, I think a lot of comic collectors from the physical world are going to come in and they're going to start collecting, not really flipping, maybe flip to get the comics or collectibles they want. But once they get the comic that they really want, I think a lot of people are going to hold for the long term. I see there's a lot of economists in here. And that's the thing, right, Jason? I feel like I've always been a person to go against the grain. If everyone, and that's something that I've learned with VeVe too, if everyone's selling, it's probably a good idea to buy. Not financial advice. If everyone's buying and that your fury is high, it might be a good time to let go of a couple of those duplicates, right? So I feel like right now, everybody in the world is just go on YouTube. Every single big person, influence, whatever the case is, they're all saying economy's crashing, huge recession, might be a depression, which I can understand. I mean, a lot of things with the economy are not great, but I'm not a person that likes to gamble and try to time things. I like to put my money or invest in things that I believe long term in and sit and wait it out. I just picked up another job. I think I start this Friday. Had a training day last Friday, so I'm picking up another job just so I have more income coming in to invest right now. Because in my eyes, not financial advice, I'm not telling you guys to do this. This is just what I'm doing. I feel like the downturn right now is just creating a huge opportunity. I don't know if it's going to last 6 months, 2 years, but I want to definitely keep reinvesting at low prices. I don't want to be selling at low prices. Now, there's a couple of things that I've had to let go recently, which I don't want to sell anything in this market, but sometimes I've had to let go things go a little bit lower than I wanted to use those funds into other things I believe in more. So, yeah, Jason, I feel like you got to go with your gut on this one. What up, BDK? How we doing? Jimbo Lee Lingo. I see Jimbo Lee Lingo picking up a couple great steals of mine that I've had to put in the market. So shout out to Jimbo. I think, BDK, I think this is going to be a hard drop to get. I don't think this is going to be as easy as people think. It's just kind of my impression, my opinion on this one. Could be wrong. Maybe we all get it. I hope to see it in the chat. I really do. This comic has a slab circulation in real life that's 3 times larger than the numbers being minted on the platform, and it retains value in real life despite the massive numbers case. Huge insight, VeVe3. I mean, that's definitely good insight right there. So showing that this is actually not that scarce of a comic, but it's still holding its value tells me the popularity of this one is huge, right? And I've always been a believer that popularity is a little bit more important than scarcity, just because I think popularity over time will create that scarcity. So obviously, if you can have both popularity, scarcity, and that demand, it's like the magic combination right there. But I think this is just such a popular comic book, popular character to where it really doesn't matter the edition size, kind of like what VeVe3 just said. It's going to do pretty well. Ian, yeah, so I knew that video was gonna go viral. I think even maybe Paul Barron might be talking about this video in the future. So, also shout out to Kyle, because anytime I think of Paul Barron now, I think of Kyle Wilson. He's been on the channel a few times, so I hope to see Kyle back on the channel. It's definitely a great look. Shout out to OG Kyle Wilson. But yeah, so this is a video that's been going viral. So instantly when I saw this, I was like, wow, okay. You got another leak, right? I mean, we've seen Ron English talk about it, a leak before. I will say in this specific video, I think he said that on purpose to kind of, in my opinion, this is like a branding marketing tactic. I've always been someone that was pretty good on like branding stuff. As soon as I saw it, I was like, what a genius move. It was almost like evil genius in my opinion. Because he probably knew that like you don't really want to be saying the P word in this kind of venue because it's going to go viral, etc. But now he also knows that anyone at that event is leaving thinking of three things: Pokemon, VeVe, and the Kaloscope company that he's there for. So I think it was a genius marketing branding move for his company to kind of put himself and his company aligned with VeVe and that P word. Because everyone's just going to think of the three things when they leave. Now, I do believe that VeVe has every big license possible, or they're going to. Eyelash in my eye. But I would just wait until they announce it. Something that big, I think they're probably holding their cards on. They don't want to announce it too early type thing. So we're going to constantly see leaks pop up. Obviously, I have no inside information if we have it, if we don't have it. My complete opinion, yeah, we're going to have it eventually. But I would just wait until you hear it from the actual Komi or VeVe team. In my opinion, it was just like a branding marketing move on his side. I say evil genius just because I feel like he probably knew the backlash that it would have for VeVe. But again, everybody at that event is now thinking of VeVe, the P word, and the Kalo company that he's doing. So, branding move, I think, just my opinion. I really don't see it going too much lower than like in the 100s BDK. I think in the 200s possibly. But 300s, in my opinion, is a pretty solid buy. I got mine also early as soon as it dropped for like 180. I don't think it'll drop below 200 again, in my opinion. But we'll see what happens. Yeah, definitely curious. Yeah, so I don't know specifically if comics are huge internationally. I would say probably not as much so yet, just because when you're thinking of physical comics, it's hard to ship, it's hard to sell them, give them out. So I do think comics will be huge. If they're not, I'm not the comic expert, so I couldn't tell you specifically. I think you would really want to tune into comics and crypto, sleeping comics, giant size comics would have a great understanding of that. But I think if they're not, comics will be huge internationally, especially once VeVe has a localization to where people from different countries can read the VeVe app in all languages. Think about it this way. If I had a comic book and I need to ship it out to a different country because someone over there wanted to buy it, one, that's a hassle. Two, they may not even be able to read that comic, the cover of it, because it's not in their language. Three, they can't even read the comic to begin with, only the cover because it's in a slab. So I think in the future, if it's not already, it will be huge internationally because it could be the first time some of these people in some countries are able to read, one of these comics in their language. So if these comics are able to change languages, which I think eventually they will be able to, it's going to be ginormous in my opinion. That's a great question, real talk. I don't really have price predictions on this comic. I have no idea what it could. I think it could be as low as 40 and as high as maybe just over 100 for the common. I really have no clue how this is going to do. My game plan for this is to go for one on the drop, and then I'm going to target a 3-digit original cover. And if it gets out of, I don't really have that many gems, so if it gets out of my range, which it definitely could, I may just hold off and just keep the one I got on the drop for now. But I do think this is a great comic book. So, Ronnie Lighto, appreciate you big time for tuning in today. Let's dive into our first video today. I may go back to back so we have enough time, but first up to bat, yeah, Comics and Crypto, Huddle or Sell, Spider-Man, issue number 300. Let's go.
Welcome back to Huddle or Sell, where we'll be breaking down the Amazing Spider-Man number 300.
Feels
In
low.
the end, we will let you know if we plan to huddle or sell. As always, this is not financial advice, but purely for entertainment purposes only. Also, if you like this video, please make sure to subscribe, like, and hit that notification button to receive updates on all our content. This Tuesday, August 30th, we are getting the Copper Age comic, The Amazing Spider-Man number 300.
This cover looks great.
The first full appearance of Venom. Story by David Michelinie,
99.
with art and cover by Todd McFarlane. While this symbiote known as Venom has attached itself to many Marvel characters, its most famous host is Eddie Brock, a journalist that blames Spider-Man for his failed career. His intense hatred of the Wall Crawler, coupled with the symbiote's intimate knowledge of Spider-Man's secret identity, make their combination a dangerous one. Venom is an anti-hero in the Spider-Man franchise and is one of Spider-Man's most famous modern-day arch-enemies and rivals.
Popular.
Portrayed by actor Tom Hardy, Eddie Brock and Venom would make their silver screen debut in the self-titled 2018 film Venom. Those characters did not appear in Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 3. Not at all. And definitely wasn't portrayed by actor Topher Grace. Didn't happen. Moving on. Sony would follow up the 2018 film with Venom Let There Be Carnage in 2021. Tom Hardy, as Eddie Brock, was teased in the end credits scene of Spider-Man No Way Home, adding to the speculation that we will see his character appear in the MCU sometime in the near future. According to GoCollect, Amazing Spider-Man number 300 as a 9.8 grade is currently valued at $4,700, with a 90-day average sale of $4,882. There are also 10 9.9 graded comics, with the most recent sale back in 2017.
I mean, this touches right on what VeVe and 3 was saying about how there's so many of them, but yet it's still a pretty expensive book and it's holding its value. So again, I think it kind of goes back to that popularity is a little bit more important than scarcity. We just see time after time after time more examples that really prove this theory to be true. So definitely something to think about.
For $13,500. Before we give our final verdict, we want to remind you that digital slabs are now available at cherrycharts.com. This video is sponsored by Elite Comics 11, Instagram's #1 community-powered comic sales page. For our final verdict, we give this comic a celebratory huddle. This is easily one of the most popular comics in Marvel history, and one of Todd McFarlane's most famous artwork. That being said, this is not a scarce physical comic whatsoever. It's easily one of the most graded comics on the CGC census, with 30,324 copies.
Woo!
But that hasn't affected its value very much, as the higher graded comics continue to increase in price over the years. This comic is a perfect example of popularity overcoming scarcity. The digital counterpart will also see solid value as well, especially given its super limited.
I'm so glad they just touched on that because I know Comics and Crypto, Sean and everybody from the Comics and Crypto team, they've been saying it as well. They've been huge on saying popularity is more important than scarcity. We've had other comic people that are not in the community anymore try to really go against them and say it's all about scarcity. It's all about scarcity. And, you know, to each his own to have their opinion. My opinion's always been popularity is a little bit more important. And I think we just see time after time again, you know, the theory to be kind of correct. So we'll see what happens in the future. Now, I do think there will come a time when some of these scarce comics that maybe aren't that valuable, there will come a time, I think, once we can put them in our showroom and our profile, some of those covers will do really well. But I still believe that those popular comics are going to be even more valuable at that point. So we'll see what happens, especially once we get past that first initial phase of being able to put in our showroom to where then we can have slabs in our showroom that display the mint number. I think a mint number on an original cover of some of these iconic, legendary comics are going to be insane. So we'll see how things play out, but it's definitely interesting that popularity is definitely taking the cake right now.
Edition size according to VeVe. We are likely going to see around 10,000 total editions for this comic, very similar to Amazing Fantasy number 15. So if we are lucky enough to land this comic on drop day, we will be holding for the long term, while also looking to snag some good deals in the marketplace. Please make sure to reference the spreadsheet on our link tree for each comic definition and ranking. The link will be included in the details below.
I'm going to stop it right there, right on their amazing resource. Again, shout out to Sleeping Comics, VeVeRank.com. VeVe Rank is another amazing resource. I like to kind of use both of these. Sean has his in his link tree. Sleeping Comics has his in his bio of his Twitter. I would say use both of these resources and kind of use them both, look at them both, and then come up with your own kind of sentiment afterwards, because definitely two comic gurus that I love picking their minds with. So awesome resource here where he ranks the comics in his opinion. Shout out to Comics and Crypto. Let me get to some more comments real quick, and then I'm going to tune into Vivian 3's video. Nice info dump. And then I think I'm going to have to go over the whole timing gate, how we're able to time these drops, because I do think this is going to sell out ASAP. Yeah, I agree, Tom. Put it like this, Johnny. If everyone on Earth knew about VeVe NFTs, the prices would be a million times what it is right now. I agree. And the other thing is, too, a lot of people do know about VeVe, but yet they don't believe in NFTs yet. It's like the branding of NFTs, like I've always been saying, is off. So they see VeVe NFTs, but they're like, yeah, NFTs are a fad, though. Once this whole digital collectible, digital comics really start to, I would say it's like a culture shift. It's a mentality shift. And just go back to the music days when digital music streaming first came about, right? It took some years before people really start to accept and really start to see that as the norm. So it may be a couple years away, but I do believe VeVe is going to dominate the future. Yeah, I agree. And that's the other thing too, right? Think of how accessible these digital comics are. Now, everybody who has an iPhone is a potential collector. That's exponentially bigger, because think of how niche the physical comic collecting world is, right? Someone like me, I would have never even thought about collecting comics. I didn't see any interest in it. Now you can just do it on your phone instantly, and it promotes people, willing, or doesn't promote, but it really incentivizes people to maybe go after the physical to kind of match the digital pairing. So let me dive into Vivian 3's video right now, because I don't want to wait too long here.
Welcome back to VeVe N3 with me, Corey, aka Old Rhubarb on VeVe, and
me, Heather, from the VVT, and also Heroes and Heroines.
And we have a highly anticipated, iconic, and slightly controversial first appearance comic for Venom with the Amazing Spider-Man number 300. This comic is going to be landing on the platform on Tuesday, August 30th at 8 a.m. Pacific time, and this one is a super limited edition run, and that means 10K are being minted across all rarities. And there was a recent edit to the VeVe Medium press release for this comic, and the entry point bid for this one is 20 gems, and maybe that's something they've started with Amazing Fantasy number 15, because that also was a 10K run, and they also bumped the price up to the 20 gems for that one. So is that going to be standard for all 10K runs? We don't know, but we do know as of the last 1 hour, 1 hour ago, this one's going to be 20 gems entry.
All right, so what do we mean by highly disputed first appearance of Venom? Well, this is one of those books that the devil's in the details. Most comic collecting websites tag this book as the first full appearance of Venom. And the issue for many is that this sort of brushes aside the fact that Venom made a pretty legit full appearance in the comic previous to this one. Today we're going to be tackling the comic, the character, the exclusive covers, the value, and that little bit of controversy we've just touched on. So let's get into this thing.
This comic released on May 1st of 1988, and the iconic black suit featured on the cover, courtesy of Todd McFarlane, is perhaps the most popular costume rendition of the character in the Spider-Man franchise's lifetime. And this special 25th anniversary 300th edition comic was highly sought after by collectors. And many folks erroneously attribute this as the first appearance of Venom in comics. And despite the comic prior to this, $2.99, having an entire full-page spread featuring Venom with his name on it and everything, this comic is still tagged as the first full appearance of Venom.
So what's going on here? Well, starting in the 1980s and heavily in the 90s, comic book value and collecting fever was at an all-time high. Marvel and other comic publishers noticed that lots of people were buying the comics purely as investments. If they could find a way to stretch a first appearance across multiple books, then these collector-focused buyers would clean the books right off the shelves. And clean the books off the shelves they did. $2.99, according to Go Collect, had over 7,000 books cased and preserved. Number 300, the comic we're looking at today, had a case circulation of more than 30,000. And despite having more than 3 times as many cased in circulation, has recorded sales of 13,500 for 9.9 and more regular sales around 4,700 for 9.8.
And while speculative, I'd suggest that the value of this comic is based really on 3 big things. First was the Marvel push to market this as the first full appearance of the character. You got to keep in mind when this comic rolled out, comic pricing guides, comic pricing journals were being printed just as fast as the comic books. There was no internet, so everything was word of mouth and via those trade publications. That likely increased the hype around this book in a big way. And second, this was the 25th anniversary, and issue number 300. The print run for this book was likely a lot bigger than for $2.99. And the third reason is Todd McFarlane was not only on the cover, this was the first comic that he had inked the inside of for Amazing Spider-Man.
Shout out to
and
Todd.
Keep in mind, Todd McFarlane, while many on the app associate him with Batman due to the Batman Black and White series, was and is a legendary contributor to Marvel. McFarlane is the artist who created what would be coined as spaghetti webbing, an artistic move that took more time and was initially discouraged by editors at Marvel. And he also is tagged as the co-creator of Venom.
Speaking of co-creator of Venom, let's dig into this character. The conception of a black suit was generated in 1982 by a fan submission as part of a contest to come up with ideas for Marvel. Randy Schuler would get sent a $220 check, and Marvel would sit on the idea of the symbiote suit for a couple of years.
Wow, I want to buy it. We'll pay $220. That's wild.
Do you remember us talking about Secret Wars?
Marvel supervillains are coming! Secret Wars! Can the Marvel superheroes stop them?
It would be in that comic run where Spider-Man would touch a glob of black goo in hopes of getting his costume repaired, and ultimately have the Venom symbiote bond with him.
And that bonding with the Venom symbiote caused Peter Parker and, his Spider-Man persona all kinds of problems. It gave him some heightened abilities, but the mental toll that it took on him. I mean, he would go to sleep exhausted, and Venom would take over his body and go fight crime at night.
6-minute warning.
All kinds of terrible things that would be attributed to him. With the help of Reed Richards and the Human Torch, Venom would be separated from Peter Parker. The symbiote would later bond with Eddie Brock, a reporter Peter Parker had discredited right before Eddie was going to commit suicide. And the bond between Eddie Brock and Venom was largely based on the fact that they were both rejects who felt like failures, and they both hated Peter Parker.
In terms of movie adaptations and films of note, Venom, played by Tom Hardy, is an interesting one. We've seen Tom Hardy as Venom in 2 Sonyverse movies, Venom in 2018 and Venom Let There Be Carnage in 2021. Interestingly, Venom, still with Tom Hardy playing Eddie Brock, made a cameo appearance in Spider-Man No Way Home, and that cameo marks the official canonical introduction of Venom into the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
And the way that cameo was shot was clever editing by Marvel because it left the door open to Venom. Essentially, Eddie had been teleported into Earth 616, the universe we're all familiar with. He was at the bar drinking, trying to figure out what the heck's going on. And at the end of the movie, essentially he gets teleported back. But a glob of black goo is left on the bar. Again, leaving the door open to the use of the symbiote down the road.
Before we get into the covers, a quick shout out to the Rhubarb Patch family. We have a new member in the Rhubarb Patch, Ricard Brahma. Thank you so much for joining.
Ricard.
We haven't gotten a chance to make you a custom shout out avatar.
Let's go.
We look forward to doing that this week. And all members are automatically entered into the weekly giveaway for comics and collectibles. So keep your peepers out for the giveaway videos, which should be coming this weekend.
4-minute warning.
Let's dig into these
4 minutes and
covers.
30 seconds.
First classic cover is minting 6,000 editions. This is the digital replica of the original comic, and it's one of those books that many comic shops have slabbed and graded up on their wall. For fans of the Web Slinger, McFarlane, and Venom, this book is one of those pinnacle books that they have in their collections. With only 10K of these being minted across all the rarities, it makes this comic far scarcer than the number cased in circulation in the physical world.
The uncommon vintage variant is minting 2,250 editions. We get an appreciation for the spaghetti webbing that McFarlane made famous, and that caused him to get an earful from impatient editors. Further, the blue shadowing and highlights against the black suit, which was standard for this costuming, really pops. This uncommon is really clean in appearance.
Our first VeVe exclusive cover is the Rare Hero variant, and it's minting 1,000 editions. Salvador LaRocca and Edgar Delgado did an outstanding job of staying true to the original conception of Venom. As a kid, I always thought Venom was epic because he was just so huge. Unlike when Peter Parker was the host, which made for a very slim, sort of streamlined Venom, Eddie Brock brought a huge amount of weight, size, and muscle to the character, which was just epic whenever I was a little kid.
The ultra rare vibranium variant is minting 500 editions. We're getting a sort of abstract red in the background with a light highlight around the character itself. The title text has been shifted to light blue, and the 25th anniversary banner retains its original yellow coloring. I was a little taken back by Delgado's signature being sort of text block instead of a signature, and the size disparity between LaRocca and Delgado's signatures. But looking through physical variants, Delgado's standard signature block is this sort of digital text block.
Last, the secret rare True Believer variant is minting 250 editions. This is an interior panel pull, and here's the panel it is being pulled from. I'm going
to stop it right there and watch the last couple of minutes, or last minute or so, right after this drop. Only stopping it just because I do want to go over, in case there's any new users, about how we can try to time this a little bit easier. So, from the very beginning, we're going to be on that store tab at the bottom. We're going to click right on the drop today. We're going to scroll down where the timer is. Now, some people will wait until the buy now pops up and then click, kind of react to it. You can actually click it faster by timing it. It pops up 1 second after 0. So if you start your press before you see it, you can kind of try to time it. So I'll give an example once we get down to here. Once we get down to minute 0 seconds, I'm going to act like there's 0 minutes and we're just at the 50-second mark right now. So one thing I try to do is I try to count down with the timer about like 5 to 10 seconds to go. That way it just helps me kind of stay in line with it. And again, I'm starting my press slightly before I even see buy now. Buy now is going to pop up right in the box where the timer is. So right where the timer is, we're going to be clicking. But instead of waiting to see it pop up and then press, we're going to have a little second delay there. Again, I try starting my press slightly before buy now pops up. And if you know it pops up 1 second after 0, you can kind of try to time it. So I'll give an example here. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Buy now. That would have been perfect right there. So less than a minute to go. I'll get some more comments right after the drop. Shout out to my coffee gang, my coffee gators. I am back on the coffee. I'm going to screen record. It's been a while. I'm excited for this drop. Can't really move too much right now, but the other thing I like doing is kind of backing out and coming back into the drop and making sure that countdown is going down in order. And right now it is for me. So sometimes it like delays on a second or two, and I'll back out and come back in until I feel like it's perfectly going down. 15 seconds. 15. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Bye now. Got it. Whoo! Felt pretty easy. Didn't feel like a crazy hard one to get. We're going to get a 3-digit mint. 3-digit mint. This is going to be a low mint today. How we do, fam? Let me know in the chat. I feel like there's going to be a lot of dubs on this one. I didn't have my best timing. I didn't have my worst timing either. So let's see how it goes. This is 3-digit mint. All right, 5,000 mint. 5,000 mint. I'll take it. Buy now still up for me? Nope, sold out. I don't know which one I got. Hopefully I got a solid one. I think this is going to be pretty well, though. It's going to do pretty well. This one be popular and scarce on VeVe. That's a fact. That's why I think this one's going to do pretty well. Yeah, at 15, any rarity is being kept very stable. I agree with that. I was waiting for it to kind of come down a little bit more, and I'm surprised it didn't. So, good to see that. Yeah, a lot of things are going back and forth right now. Let's go, Miss Rose in the building. Let me know, how did everyone do? We got Getsy in here. Yeah, exactly. And I think Snoop Dogg might have already just found VeVe. Let's go. Shout out to Callie Brooks. I'm on that VeVe. Snoop had to have found VeVe by now. Yeah, I agree. K Walker, it's really just it's going to be a culture shift mentality. I've always said it's the same thing as music. I believe it's going to be the same way. It didn't happen overnight. It did take some years. You got DB in the house. What up, fam? How we doing, December? Yeah, exactly. And I'm glad you understand it too, Tom. There's plenty of people out there that keep saying we need marketing. We need them to promote VeVe heavily right now. Where's the marketing? And it's like, I'm so glad you understand it. VeVe is not ready yet. Once the team is ready, a simple $10 million advertising campaign will skyrocket their platform. And that's the thing, right? Marvel will promote us. Disney's going to promote us. Warner Brothers are going to promote us. But like, what would that do if we brought in 10 million people, 5 million people tomorrow? He would just break the app. It just isn't ready. Like Sean from Comics and Crypto always using a great example. Why would you bring in all these people, all your friends to a new party at your house when you don't even have the walls done yet? You have no furniture. It's like, you got the foundation. And because of the foundation, everyone sees the potential and wants things to skyrocket and boom right now. But it's like, when VeVe feels like it's ready and they're able to hold a lot of people on the platform, that's when we're going to have a huge marketing campaign, I believe. I mean, Al kind of said it himself. Disney's going to promote us. Warner Brothers is going to promote us. We're going to get so much publicity. It's going to be amazing. He's literally said that. So it's like the people who just don't believe in what he has to say, there's always going to be non-believers, right? And the other thing is, too, people will say VeVe is it's never going to be finished. That's true. It's never going to be a finished product, but there will come a time and point when they feel it's ready enough to sustain a lot of these new users, to sustain a huge marketing push, really. And that's when I believe that we're going to have a huge time to market and promote. Is once the app is ready, a lot of these features are finished. It's all happening. I hope everybody had some good practice. The comment is easily my favorite, to be honest. I agree. A lot of people in this chat. Let's go. Breathe. The biggest thing is breathing. Hey, JD, what's going on? Energy. My heart is going wild. Super Simona got a dub. Chasing Sundays took an L. Dudes with a dub. No way. Miss Rose took an L. No. Dang, so a lot of people took an L. It's very interesting to see. Rich Buddy took a dub. Monte took a dub. I hate losing 2K Walker. Don't feel bad. It happens to me. It happens to me even time to time. And it does feel like you just lost, but it happens. Cure Semi got one. Energy got a dub. Interesting. The button twitched. Wow. James took an L. He means a W. Brandon took a dub. Getsy got one. Wow, so we got a lot of loyal subs missing out today. Diane C got an L. Did Twitter 400K friends back out with 10 seconds left again? Alien JD strikes again. This is going to be one of the few drops this week to where I'll be able to do the drops from my house. Starting next week, maybe next Friday, I won't be able to do the live stream drops, and I'll have to do the drops from the golf course. So we're going to see what happens. But shout out to Jay Kill. He got a dub. Anybody get a 3-digit mint? My buy now button's still up, so on the 8-minute mark, I'm going to have to go for a rebound. MBZ, how we doing? How we doing? When Eminem finds it, Star Wars. Yeah, so what else made me think about this was Kanye West, right? Ye just put out an Instagram post saying like new purchases, and one was like a Star Wars episode on Netflix or something. So like I wrote a comment saying like Star Wars X Ye X VeVe. It's only a matter of time before the world finds about VeVe. Most of these people, most of the celebrities have found VeVe, in my opinion. They're just they probably have NDAs, or they just probably NDAs and not marketing just yet, is my opinion. Let's go. Omi Wanda homie. Love the username too. Used the Johnny Dunn timing trick and scored a dub. Let's go. You know what's crazy? What I was thinking about too. I don't know if anybody used or is using the spam technique anymore. I don't even know if it works. We got an 8-minute rebound coming up any minute. I don't have a world clock, so this is going to have to just be a guessing and reaction combination using my computer clock here while I'm looking through some comments. But it made me think, what would have happened if I didn't let people know about the timing trick? I honestly thought everybody knew about it. I'm sure a lot of people were using it. I felt like majority of the people were spamming away. So, wow, market's closed. Interesting. There's really not that many devs right now, Al. I would say they are kind of understaffed still. They have a really small team. So that's one of the reasons why, too, things do take a little bit longer than expected, is because with how much IP they have, with how successful they are, a lot of people think they have like a huge team, and they really have a really small team right now. So, nope, 8-minute mark was not a success for me. I would say their devs are really good. I've been able to talk with a lot of them. But I just think they have a really small team so far. So that's, I think, a lot of the reasons why support may not get back to people instantly, and some of the things may take a little while. But I think this one is a must-have, in my opinion. You always get the drop. Good. I'm so tired. Did you get a drop too, Coley Brick? I feel like I have the magic touch with these drops, to be honest. I feel like I just understand the concept of it mixed in with a lot of luck. I feel like I've always been one of the luckiest people in the world. Before I even found VeVe, and the fact that I did find VeVe so early kind of reconfirmed that I am one of the luckiest people in the world. Omega Zone. Maybe both. Apple Crisp got nothing. 2K mint for Gary. Yeah. Okay. Wow. Wow. VeVe vaulted the same. Oh, his page didn't load. Wow. That's just bad luck right there. Yeah. Shout out to anyone who tried doing that with the 10 seconds going in, back and back out. I've always said it does carry a risk because the app could crash or it could just not load. And that's why I try to do it with like 30 to 60 seconds left is like my comfortable time to do it. Wow, that's really unfortunate. I mean, sometimes you just have bad luck like that. I guess it kind of, for other times, it does probably work out and gives you good luck. I guess you get some bad luck with it too. Let's go. We got Jay Kill golfing. Top Golf is always a great time. It's funny. I've actually never been to Top Golf yet, but I know what it is. It's probably I see it as like a great time to either go out like on a date or like you probably did with your wife, little date night action, or maybe like a small group of friends or type thing. It's definitely a fun time. Have some drinks, have some food. See how far you can bomb the ball, right? Please do live streams from the golf course and show your alien mode. Big cap. If I wasn't actually working, then I probably would be able to, but I'm going to be at work during this time, so I'm going to be going for the drop, but I probably won't be able to live stream it from the golf course. But I did get one, Connor. I don't know which rarity I got just yet. I think Florian thinks it's still capped that I'm just one of the greatest VeVe droppers of all time. Haters gonna hate. You know, it is what it is. Got hate my whole life. I got one pending order still. That's the thing, right? I can sit on here and try to show people how I'm able to get these drops. Some people will listen, and some people it's helped greatly. And you know, some people will use it and it doesn't work for them, and they assume it just doesn't work. This person, Omi Wan, said use the Johnny Dunn timing trick and scored. A lot of people have been successful using that timing trick. And of course, we're going to get some people that just aren't successful, so they're going to try to hate and say it's cap, but it is what it is, right? That just actually gives me more confidence because, it always has. A lot of people back in the day, like January, February, when we had the bot issue, a lot of people were accusing me of using bots. And I was like, wow, that's like the greatest compliment in the world because you're basically saying that I am so good at these VeVe drops now that you think I'm botting. It's like, I am the most humble person in the world, but like when people want to spread hate, you got to clap back sometimes. Spamming never worked for me, honestly. It lags your device, in my opinion. And yeah, dudes, that's a thing, right? I felt like you definitely have a chance of getting flagged or something like that. So I've always been one just to try to time it and just go for one click, one drop. That's all you need. Oh, yeah. I know KSI, not personally, but I know Logan Paul is good friends with KSI. And so I think they're actually partners with the Prime drink. And if Logan's invested in Omi and knows VeVe, I'm sure he had to tell KSI. And some people aren't going to dive into it, right? Some people passed on Uber. And it was a huge mistake. Some people passed on the internet. Some people passed on Amazon. They didn't like it. Some people passed on Apple Music, Spotify, iTunes. They didn't like digital music streaming. It's not going to be for everybody, Some people aren't into it, and some people will never be into it. Some people still like physical records over digital music streaming. There's no right or wrong answer, but I think some people may regret not getting into it early as they could have. I would definitely be down to do that. Philly is like 20 minutes, 30 minutes away from me, depending on traffic. I feel like a lot of people are local too. Jay Kill and Willow, we could definitely set this up. I feel like, you're in Philly a lot, like recorded music and stuff. I would love to set this up. Yeah, we definitely could. We'll be in contact. Yeah, I actually thought about going recently with someone. I'm going to restart my app. Just close out, come back in. Market's going to open up in 30 minutes. So they closed it today. Someone was right. They said they closed it. Yeah, today's definitely pretty low, Rich Buddy. A lot of things are low right now. On Twitter, K Walker. Let's go, JT in the building. Hey, JT's down for some Top Golf in Philly. My people will be in touch with your people. DB, appreciate you big time for tuning in today. Have a good night's sleep. On Twitter, yeah, I'll check it out. Definitely. K Walker. Let me just finish this VeVe in 3 video. I wanted to finish the video.
Like this panel being used as this is an interior panel pull, and here's the panel it is being pulled from. I like this panel being used as it's essentially the point of the story where Eddie Brock explains to Peter Parker why he hates him and how his life was absolutely ruined by him. The page this is pulled from sets into motion a relationship between these two characters that has survived the test of time.
And that's a wrap for this info.
Oh, I got a
Good
comment.
luck if you decide to go for this drop. I know we're definitely going to try, even though it's super limited and it has the increased gem cost. But we're big fans of Venom and hoping to land at least one between the two of us. We're pretty worn out from producing 2 videos today, so we're going to try to go get some rest. Until the next video, this is Heather.
And Corey.
Signing off.
Great video, guys. You guys gave me some good luck here. I got mine delivered. I did end up getting a common. Just a high mint, 5,000 mint. Nothing crazy, nothing crazy. Looks like the floor price is $50. Market is open. I don't know if it's open or not, but you can actually tell the floor price by going into the comic that you got and clicking on it, and it'll come up with the floor price. So maybe if I just exit out, the market opened up early. Yep, market's up. All right, so we got 4 secret rares going for 1.6K. Let's go. Shout out to everyone who got a secret rare. That's big profit right there. Ultra rares at 600 already. Let's go. This is a big time comic. I mean, there's only 500 ultra rares. Rares are at 199. Here, Semi got a rare. Uncommons are at 28. Uncommons always get like the worst luck here. Looks like K got an uncommon. K's down to $8. Commons are $29 and $30, $35, $40. Whew. Anybody get a ultra rare, secret rare? Appreciate that. Got Gale in the building. How we doing, brother? How'd you go on this drop? You definitely went for this drop, the Gale. Probably first one in a while, if I was to guess. Did you get one? And which rarity did you get, brother? Oh, JT's having some bad luck not delivered just yet. Mine got delivered really quick. I think long-term hold. I don't know what it's going to do in the market. Short-term, Hogan. I do think if it goes below retail, people are going to stack this one, in my opinion. But again, I think Kobe Collects touch on this too a lot. You know, people are just in for the thrill of the chase too a lot of the time. It's going back up. Looks like the commons at $40 now. Secret rares are down to 1.2K. Ultra rares are down to 300. Rares are at 85. Uncommons 26. Commons are at 30, 37. I logged in last second and I got one. I don't know rarity yet. Let's go. I think a couple people tried that today. I heard Vault tried doing that the last 10 seconds, but his got stuck on the loading screen or something like that. It's always some bad luck. I feel like that's the downside of doing it with the last 10 seconds. Sometimes you get blessed with a great one. I tried doing it like 30 seconds-ish if I can, but Common Gang for J Kill. Pretty solid mint right there. 1314. Again, guys, if you're new, mint numbers can mean a lot. You know, if you don't be depressed if you got a common, uncommon, especially if it's like a mint number like 616 or any kind of special mint numbers. The publishing year is huge too. Like if you get a 1963, that's going to be big time on this one.
You know it. since the pandemic.
We've been really on it.
Bullets on the cop at NFT every morning. I'm a millionaire. Lifestyle never boring. Homeboy, watch some charts start soaring. Crypto to the Lambo was a foreign. I've been all around the VeVe-verse. We've been touring. FOMO, fear missing out while we score. I'm a millionaire.
It's one of my favorite songs.
You know when it rains, it be pouring. We was all investing, they was snoring. Now look at my collection, it's enormous.
Shout out Pineapple Gang. BDK gave up on rebounds. Rebounds are tough. I mean, it's one of those things where if you never got one, you may think rebounds are like fake, not real, but they're real. Neck is definitely loosened up more so than yesterday. Yesterday, I was like, couldn't move. I was like, oh my gosh. I hope this isn't part of the COVID. I think I just slept wrong. I wasn't really laying in a great position, and I just fell asleep for the whole night. I woke up, and I was like, oh my God. But a few hot showers, few hours at the course, just putting, loosen things up a little bit. Let's go. We got 24 secret rares in the market. Secret rares are down to 1K. Ultra rares are down to, I'm going to guess like 250. 240. Rares are, I'm going to guess like 70-ish. Ooh, rares are up. 120. Let's go. I thought they would have dipped a little bit. Sounds about right, though. Uncommons, 35. Common is 37. If I end up selling my common, it'll probably just because, or just for like a 3-digit common. Use those funds to grab like a cheap 3-digit or something like that if I can find one. I'm going to see if the 1963 is out here. No, 1980 is though. Yeah, whoever pulls the 1963 on this one is going to be huge. Jimbo Lilingo is a confirmed bot. I'm just kidding. He says, I got a message that my device does not meet the security. How can I fix that? So, Jimbo Lilingo, if you're still in the app, if it all works for you and everything, you can pretty much just dismiss that message. It's happened for a lot of people. It just pops up randomly. Most of the time, it doesn't like log you out or anything like that. Now, if it's logged you out, I would say you may have to kind of uninstall the app and reinstall the app. But if you can still use the app, I would just ignore it. You know, just let it go, and it doesn't really mean anything, in my opinion. Wow. Speaking of rebounds, D. Ramos missed a drop, but got a 4-minute rebound for the first time ever on here. Wow. Shout out to you, D. Ramos. I'm sure you're probably one of the people that probably thought rebounds weren't real, right, for the longest time. But if you stay consistent with them, you will eventually get yours. It's actually how I got one of the first ever Disney. Not Bart and Homer, my skateboard, though. Shout out to Reslone 1. You know, I didn't know if rebounds even still worked at this time. Last November when the first Disney drop happened, obviously I missed that first release. It like crashed the app. I remember on the live stream, Reslone was like, go for rebounds. It still works. Go for rebounds. And went for rebounds. And eventually, I don't know what time it was, but eventually I got one. I got that skateboard. So rebounds definitely still work. Appreciate you, Gail, for hopping in today. Hope all has been well, brother. Shout out to DG Vet on the vacation today. Cayman Islands, huh? Hopefully you have a great time out there. Got 2 gems. Yeah, I think gems are low for a lot of people right now, Getsy. I am going to be signing off today. I do have a couple things I got to get done. One is definitely sign up for tickets for the New York City Comic Con. Since your boy did not get accepted for the backstage press release, guess I'm not popping enough just yet, but time will come for that. Yeah, dudes, the reserving thing's tough, man. I don't know which rarity or which you're trying to grab, but maybe scroll down and just grab a more expensive one. Maybe you don't want to do that because it's like double the price of the floor. I do see this one going up though, so we'll see what happens. But yes, JT. See, we need people like this to keep saying this because a lot of people forget. A lot of people weren't here when that happened. So having people who have some experience saying this stuff definitely can provide a different perspective. Great drops lately. Holders will be rewarded when the market becomes a bull market. I remember when any Spider-Man drop would sell for crazy prices in the market. That's a fact. Yeah, I think a lot of people are going for that, dudes. I'm eventually going to try to get one too, but I think right now it's going to be too impossible. Let's go. In the end, we got an ultra rare. That's huge. I love both the rare and the ultra rares on these. I think the ultra rare just looks clean. It looks smooth. The rare pops. The rare to me reminds me of the AF15 rare. Both of them pop. This one may pop even more just because it's that full white background. And I think the ultra rares on the AF15 and this one are kind of similar too. It just has like a smooth background. Everything looks clean, crisp. I like both. I like all of them really. I would say the secret rare, in my opinion, is the least favorite aesthetic wise. But again, 250 editions, that's always going to do great. Yeah, uncommon down to 34. Commons at 33. Rares at 100. Ultra rares at 250. SRs at 1K. The 800 just got bought. Yep, market is open. That's a fact. Whew, that's a steal of Freddie Cox. I saw a 770. So a 00770. Awesome looking mint, but it was a private profile. Again, private profile doesn't mean it's like a fake account. I try to buy from public accounts when I can. Sometimes if I just see a number though, and I feel like it's an absolute steal, rush in there. I think I did that for AF15. But most of the time, I've been saying this for months and months and months now when a lot of people weren't doing this. I was trying to buy from public profiles just because that way you're not supporting fake accounts. But to each his own, to each his own. 1988 is the release on this here. Is it, Brandon? I thought it was 1963. Wow, no way. Whoever stole that is definitely going to be in for a big return, in my opinion. Yeah, that one should not have been for the floor price. Is that true? 1988? I don't think it is. I'm pretty sure it's 1963. It says start year 1963 on the VeVe app. Artist Todd McFarlane. Is it 1988? Why does it say 1963 then? Let me find out. Wow, yeah, it does say 1988. Oh, the start of the series. Okay, so makes sense. Yep, makes sense. Wow, thank you guys for saying that. So yeah, so a mint number 1988 would be huge on this one. Ah, makes sense. Okay, good to know. Yep, both of those VeVe exclusives are signed. I think the ultra rare is signed by both. Merlin just picked up one of my comics. Goodbye. Great buy, actually. I would do it, dudes. It's probably going to be gone, honestly. I think anything under like between 150 and 200 feels like a steal. Tim said, guessing you took it, Dubes? I think that's a good buy. Not financial advice. Maybe I should take it off bargain. What'd you get? The ultra rare? Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's going to be the make or break it that it's signed right there. I didn't check it out, Kate Walker. Let me check it out right now. Are you Khalifa? Kate Walker, what's your Twitter? Are you Khalifa? Oh, let's go. Okay, sick crypto. Oh, that's KSI. That's KSI. KSI crypto. Oh, I didn't know he replied to you. That is amazing. I just favored it. People are gonna be like, "What?" Because anytime you favorite something, pops up on the timeline. That's amazing. I didn't know KSI. That's huge. Yeah, I feel like Logan had to school him. It's one of those things where Logan probably told him all about it, and if he still doesn't have that conviction, he just may not. But I think as we keep on growing, it's going to come a point in time where they're going to see other influencers talk about it, be into it, and then they're going to be like, wait, that's that same project? Let me dive into it. And, man, I think in a couple of years from now, guys, things are going to get wild. Shout out to you, dudes. Good pickup right there, bro. I just retweeted it. I probably should have waited until I picked one up. Wow, let's go. Shout out to the Domer. He got his SR. Whoa, Robbie, what did you mean by this? Let's go. Shout out to Super Simono. I'm not even following you, Super Simono. Oh my gosh. Guys, if I'm not following you on Twitter, just write in the chat. I've tried to follow everyone back, but sometimes I just don't see it. So Like, I'm just now following back Super Simono. Amazing. So let me know. Sometimes that happens. Interesting. Hey, Iman, appreciate you big time for tuning in. Got a secret rare today? Let's go. Huge. Are you on Twitter? Post it out on Twitter. Make a tweet. Tag me in it. I'll definitely repost you. I try reposting everyone who, grab something good or grab something that they wanted on the drop. Let's go. Punch got lucky today. Any good mint numbers, rarities? You guys both hit? Punch and his mom. I feel like today was a pretty solid day. There's definitely a lot of people that missed it today, which is unfortunate. Still low enough to grab. I don't know if it's going to dip below retail or not. I mean, I'd be surprised if it did, to be honest, with this one. But let's see. They're almost all delivered. So I do see it probably picking up. Yeah, commons at 55 already. Same as my name here. Awesome. I'll definitely give you a follow if I'm not already. Just gave you a follow, brother. Grandmaster? Is that you? Looks like we got 55 for the common. Let's go. 45 for the uncommon. 145 for the rare. 329 for the ultra rare. 1.1K for the secret rare. Let's go. Tom saying this is the box taking over the drops. I'm not sure, Tom. Really not sure. I feel like usually people wait until all of them have been delivered, like right now, and then they'll attack it, because you got to think, when there's still like 1,000 or thousands of them left to be delivered, prices will probably keep dropping until they're all delivered, until everybody's put theirs in the market. That's usually when people sweep the floor. So maybe the bots are doing it at the same time. Maybe not. I think it's pretty solid buy. I mean, it's only 2x the retail price for a highly sought after comic book, but I don't know. The hype is too big right now. Let's go. Yeah, I'm going to at least try to probably get the rare on this one. I would like a 3-digit common and ultra rare combo, but that's kind of like been my thing recently. Iman with the follow back. Let's go. Shout out to Iman. J Kill has a bunch of signed Todd Spawn covers from Odd Key platform. Let's go. Yeah, that's awesome. J Kill is definitely a big time collector. Todd Spawn covers on the Odd Key platform. I feel like Todd is a legend. People in the collecting world know Todd McFarlane. Anything Todd McFarlane usually does pretty well. Oh, Punch got a rare. Nice. And a nice mint on the common. Yeah, that's a solid day, Punch. Both of you made out pretty well on that. But first things first, probably going to hop back in the shower and just take a hot, steaming shower to get my neck feeling loose. And then my game plan is to sign up for this not San Diego Comic-Con. I keep saying San Diego. New York City Comic-Con. I don't know if it's going to be Friday. I'm leaning towards probably Fridays when I'll be there, but who knows? Maybe I'll talk to Randy. Maybe we can stay at his place, stay a little longer. Who knows? But I think my game plan is to go Friday right now. So if I can get tickets for that. Yeah, dude, I'm gonna definitely try to go. I was waiting for like a whole month to get tickets because I thought I could maybe get accepted to the. It's like a backstage press badge, basically, but I didn't get accepted. Got declined. I guess your boy's not popping enough yet. But so I will have to sign up and buy some tickets, but I think they're only like $60. I just don't want them to be sold out. I think Saturday and Sunday is sold out already, so ideally I'm going Friday. That's what I'm gonna sign up for. So I'll let you guys know in the next video I put out what I end up going for, but want to see a lot of people. I think it's going to be a movie if I end up going and meeting everybody. Not just the community, but I want to meet the team too. And I think team members are going. So it's going to be a lot of fun. But appreciate you guys big time for tuning in today. Yeah, dude, I wish you could go too. Yeah, that's a fact, Punch. Tom thinks prices will fall. I don't know what prices are going to do. Tom, I really have no idea. I don't see the common and uncommon falling too hard. They're only like 2x of the retail. Maybe they come back down around retail. I have no idea. But yeah, I'm definitely going to try to go Punch. Almost a guarantee. I'm like 99% sure. Probably 100% sure I'm going to go, actually. Just as long as they're not sold out on Friday. So appreciate you guys big time for tuning in today. Had a lot of fun. Hopefully you guys had a lot of fun too. Hopefully you guys grabbed something that you wanted, or I saw some secret rares, ultra rares today. Amazing. Hopefully we can keep that luck going. Real quick, we do have another drop coming up. I believe it is Wednesday. Obviously, Decon London. Shout out to everyone who's going to Decon London. This Saturday, we have a few different drops. We got 4 different drops. This is the first one. 2,800 editions. We got another Decon mascot. I know Frenelations is big on this one. Hype Bow. I don't know how to say a name. You got the uncommon limited run, 750 for the uncommon. This is probably my favorite aesthetics. I like the sunglasses. I like the little smirk he's got there. 550 editions for the rare. And only a $25 list price. I may actually go for one of these. 450 for the ultra rare. That's big. Then we got, these are animated. Extra large is a pretty big brand. 1,000 editions for the rare. 788 for the ultra rare. Valkyrie. This is actually pretty popular. A lot of people like these. The Zodiac Girls. Basically 1,100 rares. A little bit high of a price point, but are they all the same edition? Yeah, so they're all the same rarity point there. Interesting. Yeah, animateds usually are pretty safe. The sneakers on the hype bow, yeah, those were fire. All 3, they were pretty much the same shoes, I think, on all of them, but they did look fire. Are they different on each one? Oh, they are different on each one. Wow, let's go. These have 2 different laces. And colorways a little bit different. We got the rare with the black laces. Oh, okay. Then we got the red colorway. Yeah. Frenelations is definitely huge on this one. Shout out to Fran. He's a huge sneaker collector. He's been in the sneaker collecting game for like 20 plus years now. Definitely an OG. He's definitely big on this one. I remember him saying. So, not saying to go for it just because of that, but I think these will pan out to do pretty well. So, gonna be a fun one Saturday. And then the next drop we have is FA Dr. Octopus. So, Doc Ock, baby. So let's see. I didn't even dive into the. Oh, I knew this was the reason why. Wow, let's go. So amazing the Medium article just dropped, because this is what I've been saying, guys. A lot of people were clowning this drop, saying like they want the new one. Look, the reason why I thought, I don't know if this is still the reason or not. Some people said licensing, etc. The reason why I thought this could be the reason for this drop is because it's probably easiest to make this figure the metallic red colorway. And we are doing that to celebrate Marvel's 83rd birthday. And look at what it is. Let's go. This is exactly what I envisioned when they dropped this. And they talked about how they're going to have a metallic red. So, again, they're doing this colorway to celebrate Marvel's 83rd birthday. And it's something that we could see in the future for a lot of these drops. Animated. Huge. Guys, look. Secret Rare Doc Ock animated. Under promise, over deliver. Let's go. everything literally just worked out exactly how I envisioned. I predicted that one of these is going to be animated. It just fits their under promise, over deliver theme. $50 list price, 1,600 editions. That's going to do amazing. These are the static ones. Ultra rare, though, is the first ever metallic red to celebrate. That's why this one's going to do great, in my opinion. And then we got the uncommon. Just a static figure. This is probably going to obviously do the least. This is probably going to maybe go under retail, float around retail, maybe under, just because 7,000 editions of a static. But it is FA. Definitely looking forward to this drop now. Crazy. I'm definitely going to clip this and be like, alien. Wow, that just happened exactly how I predicted. Holy cow. So that answers a lot of the questions. Animated. Let's go. That shuts up a lot of the hate. Shout out to the VeVe team, man. Amazing. Animated. Let's go. I'm definitely clipping this one and saying, your boy was right. Appreciate you guys big time for tuning in today. I am signing out. It's your boy, Johnny Dunn. We out.